You complain about a mosquito bite at a summer picnic, or panic when a tiny spider sits in the corner of your shower. In earlier centuries, Mother Nature was literally weaponized against your ancestors. Historical authorities often bypassed standard cells, fire, and axes for executions. Empires engineered suffering by looking at the local wildlife, the plants and the swamps, to see how they could extract the maximum amount of physical agony. This was a progression from the chaotic, rapid animal panic of Rome to the slow, methodical horror of Persian biological decay. We begin in ancient Rome. Here, the absolute worst, most cosmic crime a person could commit was parricide, killing your own parent. The Romans believed that turning against your own blood meant you removed yourself from humanity, and therefore you deserved a death that occurred outside the sight of other men. They used poena coliae, the punishment of the sack. The condemned person was taken and sewn tightly inside a large, pitch-black leather bag. Executioners tossed in specific animals: a dog, a snake, a monkey, and a rooster, chosen to symbolize chaos. Once tied shut, it was thrown into a rushing river. As cold water floods in and oxygen drops, absolute panic sets in. Drowning was only the final, merciful step. The real suffering occurred in the pitch black as the victim was mauled by 4 terrified animals fighting for the same air. In Southeast Asia, executioners abandoned active animal violence for a passive botanical method. Under the right conditions, bamboo is capable of cracking through solid concrete because of its extraordinary growth speed and immense structural strength. This created a slow-motion spear trap. The victim was immobilized flat over freshly sharpened bamboo sprouts. Within a day, those sharp tips break the skin. Soon, stalks drive upward, pushing entirely through muscles, nerves, and major internal organs. With no chance of escape, the victim's living body became a fertilizer bed for the plant. The Persian Empire's Scaphism represents the most prolonged biological trap in history. A naked victim was laid inside a hollowed-out wooden boat. A top half-lock locked their torso in place, leaving the head and limbs exposed. Guards force-fed them milk and honey to induce severe diarrhea, then smeared that mixture over the victim's skin. Pushed into a stagnant swamp, the smell of fermenting milk and human waste acted as bait, drawing in massive swarms of flies and stinging insects. Larvae would hatch and burrow into the living flesh. Guards returned daily to force-feed the victim, prolonging the rotting process for weeks. Historical records describe one man who survived for 17 days while being consumed by an ecosystem. Ancient empires weaponized biological cycles and the indifference of the natural world to strip away human dignity. Today, we live in climate-controlled rooms, largely removed from the food chain. The natural world operates without regard for human suffering, a trait that historical executioners recognized and harnessed to increase the duration of a death sentence. The next time you experience nature, remember the difference between being a visitor and being a captive. Subscribe for more history.